Hello and welcome to our class IT33 or Statistical Analysis in your subject description. Some of you may have the subject description na Statistics in Business and Economics. So, same lang naman po ito. Okay. So, since this is our first meeting, let me just give my agenda for today in which I'll be discussing to you yung subject requirements as well as yung outline ng ating klase. Okay, so first things first, for formality purposes, let's start by introducing myself, okay, and the subject itself. Okay, so as for the introductions, I am Sunny Luigi Fernandez Prado, and I will be your professor for this subject. Okay, so I've been teaching in UL for the last 13 years, and I graduated my master's degree in information technology, major in cybersecurity in the same university, as well as my doctoral degree of Doctor of Philosophy, major in development education. So I am currently a faculty and a full-time professor of the College of Accountancy. So I have been assigned in teaching all of the sections in statistical analysis or IT33 subject. So if you have any questions or concerns regarding your schedule, just let me know. Okay, so as for this subject itself, okay, so this subject is actually a continuation of your IT22 in which we'll be analyzing data that came from your accounting information systems. Okay. Together with that, this is a preparation for your research subject. Okay. So, we'll be talking about different topics here, such as the topics regarding the mean, median mode, and then of course will be having some terminologies such as standard deviation, permutations, combination, and there's more to it in this subject later on. Okay, so again, my agenda for today is to discuss to you the subject requirements. So as part of my presentation, I'll be discussing to you, what is the uh, what are the things that you need to comply or to have in order to pass this subject. Okay, so the students are expected to complete the course with the completion or compliance with the following items. Okay, so kailangan natin meron tayo ng mga to at i-make sure natin na wala tayong mamimiss na kahit na anumang kailangan in order to pass this subject. Okay, so the items would be, of course, here. Okay, meron tayong attendance, meron tayong quizzes, meron tayong exam, case studies, and of course, your educational materials na gagamitin for this subject. Okay. So, as for the attendance, ang klase natin is composed of 54 hours lecture. So, the minimum na attendance natin would be at least 44 hours. Okay, bakit? Kasi yung 10 hours na kapag na-miss ninyo yon is subject for dropping. So, wag naman po natin paabuting 10 oras tayong absent sa klase natin. Okay. So, yung 10 hours is not continuous. It is a cumulative. So, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ka laging absent ay hindi ka madadrop. Okay, kapag 10 oras na yung absent mo, let's say, ngayong week, absent ka ng 1 oras, next week, 1 oras ulit, next week, ganun ulit. So, pag naipon ninyo yung 10 hours na absent, congrats, graduate na kayo. Drop na kayo sa subject na to. Pero huwag niyong gawin yun, of course. Okay? Pag late naman po, 3 tardiness is equivalent to 1 absent. So, iwasan din po nating malate sa klase natin, lalong-lalo na kapag face-to-face tayo. Okay? As for online naman kasi, meron tayong different types of online class. So, later, pag-uusapan naman po natin yon. Okay? So, bukod po doon sa sa attendance, we also have the quizzes, okay? So dito sa subject natin, medyo marami-rami ang ating mga quiz. And since this is statistics, magkakaroon tayo ng mga computation or problem solving na quizzes. So make sure may dala kayo laging calculator dyan sa tabi ninyo or some devices that could help you in computation. Okay. So, yung quizzes natin kasi later on makikita natin that it has an impact on your class standing. Okay. So, another is meron din tayo ng major exams on this subject. Okay. As for the exams, we have the prelims, midterms, semis, and then the final. Okay. So, yung mga exams na yun will be on a written form. Depende na lang kung ano po ang situation ng ating klase. Okay. So, bukod sa exam, meron po tayong mga case study or activity na gagawin dito sa subject natin. Okay. It might be individual, by partner, or by group. Depende sa topic po na tinitake natin. Okay. Bukod sa mga yon, kailangan din naman po natin as subject requirement ang mga instructional materials such as books na gagamitin natin for discussion. Okay? So, the books will be the outline or magbibigay ng outline for our day-to-day or topic by topic na discussion. Okay? So, hindi ito basta nakita lang sa sa mga kung saan nabasa, diniscuss, ganon. Now, we have an outline based on our syllabus. Okay? So, please do take note that failure to comply will result in either incomplete or drop grades. Okay? Depende na lang yan kung gusto nyo mangyari yan sa inyo, pero wag naman po sana. Okay? So, yung incomplete, mapag-usapan po natin later on this discussion kung paano ba siya naibibigay at bakit nga ba na-incomplete ang isang estudyante at bakit nga ba na-drop ang isang estudyante. Okay, or na-fail ang isang estudyante. So, before that, we'll just discuss muna yung grading system na meron tayo. Okay? So, as for the grading system na gagamitin natin for this subject, okay, the grading system that will be implemented in this subject will be the current university standard of 60-40 transmutation. So, hindi na po tulad dati na medyo mababa yung standards natin. Ngayon po ay 60-40 na po yung transmutation. So, paano po ba yan gumagana? Okay, ganito lang naman po yan. So, example po natin is nag-quiz daw tayo 1 to 10. Yan. So, the na highest number of points na pwede mong makuha ay 10. But you only got, let's say, 7. Okay? So, paano nga ba natin gagamitin yung 60-40 transmutation sa score or raw score na 7 out of 10? So, let's open up a calculator and then tingnan natin. Okay. So, kunwari, 7 daw ang nakuha mo. 7 divided by the total number of score, okay, 10, ayan, times 60, ayan, plus 40. So, ayan. Ito po yung equivalent ng 7 out of 10 with the 60-40 transmutation. So, meron kang 82% na grade doon sa 7 out of 10. Okay. So, how about kapag sakaling, let's say, nakakalahati ka lang doon sa, okay, sa quiz. Okay, meron tayong mga impression kasi na at least nakalahati ko or buti na lang nakalahati ko. Tingnan natin kung enough ba yung kalahati sa 60-40 transmutation. Okay. Let's say, nakakalahati ka nga, 5. Yan. 5 divided by 10, which is the total number of points na pwede mong makuha, sana, okay, times 60, yan, plus 40. So, ang lalabas diyan ay 70. Hindi siya passing, di ba? Okay? Yes, nakalahati mo pero hindi yun passing for the 60-40 transmutation. Ibig sabihin, you must have at least 60%. Oops, sorry. You must have at least 60% of the score in any test given or in any activity or in the activity to have a passing remark. Okay? So, kailangan natin lagpas sa kalahati. Okay? 60% and above. Okay? So, yun po ang i-target natin lagi para sure tayo na hindi tayo magkakaroon ng problema sa grades po natin. Okay? So, I hope malinaw naman po yun. Okay. So, as for the naman, usapin regarding grades, kung paano ba ito nako-compute. Okay, susundin lang naman po din natin ang University Standard Computation of Grades. And meron tayong dalawang period sa ating semester. Okay? So, how the grades are computed within the semester. Okay, meron tayong tinatawag na midterm grade. Ayan. Unahin natin yung midterm grade. So, yung midterm grade is, meron po tayong first half ng ating klase. Okay. So, midterm grade is composed of your prelim exam, which is times 1 lang naman po. Yung midterm exam nyo, times 2 naman po yan, combined with the class standing of times 4. So, medyo malaki-laki yung class standing. Ano bang nandyan? Okay. Later on, pag-usapan natin kung anong laman ng class standing and why it has a big impact in the computation of your grade. Okay. So, kapag tinotal mo lahat yan, okay, i-divide natin yan into 7 because we have a 7 item na yung weight doon sa ating grades. Okay. So, that is the first half of your performance, your midterm grade. Prelim hanggang midterm. Okay. And then, yung class standing nyo doon sa mga time na yon. Bukod sa midterm grade, meron din tayong tinatawag na tentative final grade. Okay, so this is the second half of the semester. Okay, it includes your semifinals and finals exam as well as the class standing doon sa second half na meron tayo. Okay, so kapag tinotal natin lahat yan, i-divide lang natin siya into 7 and we will be having our tentative final grade. Okay, so kung meron na tayo nung first half and second half, pwede na nating makompute ngayon yung tinatawag natin na final grade na magre-reflect sa inyong student portal. Okay. So the final grade is composed of your midterm grade plus your tentative final grade sana yan. Pero final grade sabi lang. Okay. So tentative final grade times 2 naman po yun. So, make sure na habang tumatagal ang klase ay mas gumagaling or mas nagiging okay ang performance ninyo. Okay. So, yan. Times 2 naman po yun plus your average or your final class standing throughout the class. Okay. So, your class standing mula prelims hanggang finals, yun po ay magiging part ng inyong final grade. Okay, so that will be the computation of your final grade. Okay, so as for the class standing, maraming nagtatanong bakit nga ba ang laki ng impact ng class standing. So ang class standing involves the following items na meron tayo sa klase. Okay, it involves your quizzes. Okay, this is the proof that you are performing well with the topic or chapter by chapter na topic na meron tayo. Okay. So, bukod sa quizzes, nakahalo din naman po ang activities dyan. Okay. As part of your effort na makapasa sa subject na to. Okay. Together with that is, hindi lang quiz at saka activity ang kailangan ninyo. You need also to have class participation or recitation. So, hindi enough na papasok ka lang sa klase, magko-comply ka lang sa mga quiz, activities. Kailangan mo ring makipag-engage sa klase, makipag-interact with your classmates and with the topic that we have in at hand. Okay? So, ayan po. Mas okay na mas active tayo sa klase, at least hindi tayo parang pumasok lang para magkaroon ng grade. Okay. And then, the last item that is included in your class standing is your attendance. Okay. So, hindi enough na papasok ka lang kapag may quiz, kapag may papas kang activity, kapag may recitation, or kapag may exam. Okay. Attendance is a huge contributor to your class standing. Okay. So, kung mapapansin natin, these 4 items reflects your effort to pass and learn in this subject. Okay. So, yan po yung kailangan nating pagtuunan ng pansin bukod sa mga exams natin. May mga estudyante kasi napapasok lang pag-exam tapos sasabihin nila na okay, kompleto naman ng aking exam, bakit failed ako, sir? Kasi syempre yung class standing nila ay mababa. Okay? Wag niyo naman po na gawin yun, of course. Okay? So, bukod doon, meron din tayo ng mga inquiry regarding class record. Okay? So, as for class records, okay, everyone has the right to monitor their own progress, performance, or results which will be recorded sa aking Excel file or kung ano man yung aking gagamitin na storage ng inyong mga scores. Okay? And this will be reflected in the class record for transparency purposes. Okay? Para hindi nyo sabihin na bakit ganun yung grade ko, maganda naman yung performance ko sa klase. Remember na lahat ng mga numbers doon sa class record is just an output of your effort. Okay? So, meaning, meron kayong right na i-compute yung grade, malaman yung score kung bakit na ganun yung grade ninyo, or ilan pa ang kailangan yung score para doon sa ina-achieve nyo na grade. Either passing man yan or mataas na grade. Okay. So, yung mga score is i-display naman po yan in any exam na kailangan nyo na makita kung kamusta na po ang inyong performance. Okay. So, either prelims, midterms, semifinals, and finals, you can view the class record for transparency purposes at makita nyo, medyo okay na ako. Kailangan ko na lang taasan yung grade. Yung mga iba rin naman, kailangan kong bumawi kasi malanganin yung grade ko. Okay, kapag ganito yung nakuha ko sa susunod na mga quiz, may chance na makabawi ako sa klase. Ganon. Diba? Okay. So, karapatan nyo naman makita yung ating class record. Okay. Bukod doon, meron din tayong mga tanong regarding the different types of grades na meron tayo. Okay. So, yung unang tanong is that, what are the instance na kung saan magkakaroon ng incomplete grade ang isang estudyante? Okay. So, nangyayari lang naman po ito when you miss a class activity during the semester. Okay. Or let's say na mismo ang isang quiz or exam, hindi ka nag-exam tapos hindi ka na nag-follow up kung kailan ka pwedeng mag-take ng special exam since na mismo yung schedule ng exam mo. Okay? So, pwede ka magkaroon ng incomplete grade sa mga ganon. Okay? Let's say meron ding mga activity or case study na kailangan kang i-pass or kailangan meron ka. Kapag wala yung mga yun, non-compliance of subject requirement can result in incomplete grades. Okay? So, hindi po reason din ang incomplete or hindi po pwedeng gawin na incomplete ang isang estudyante kapag failing naman po yung kanyang grades. Okay. So, incomplete is just given if a student has the chance to have a passing grade if he completes the subject requirement. Okay, meaning, let's say, meron ka nung mga ibang activity, pero na-miss mo ang isa. Okay. Ngayon, iniisip mo na since na-miss mo yung isa, may incomplete ka na. Titignan po natin doon sa computation ng inyong grade kung yung isa na yon ay na-complete mo at with the prediction na kung saan kapag yun na perfect mo at saka meron kang passing grade, then you will have the chance to have this incomplete. Okay. Pero kapag yun, let's say, kompleto ka sa iba, may na-miss ka lang na isa, at kapag predict natin na yung grade mo doon ay, or yung score mo doon ay perfect, pero hindi pa rin naaabot sa passing yung grade mo, I'm sorry, but hindi incomplete ang makukuha mong grade. Okay. So, makukuha po natin doon ay failing grade. Okay. So, what are the instance that I'll have a failing grade? Okay. Magkakaroon ka lang po ng failing grade if you have completed all subject activities or requirements but the computed grade is below 75. Nung transmuted, hindi yung per activity. Ayan. So, iwasan po nating magkaroon ng problema sa ating klase. Okay. So, bukod doon, meron din tayo ng mga usapin regarding attendance. Okay. So, sabi kanina kasi, requirement din ang attendance na part ng class standing natin. So, paano naman yung online, sir? Okay. Meron kasi tayong dalawang klase ng online class. Meron tayong synchronous and asynchronous. Okay. Kapag live or synchronous ang klase natin, so if the online class is on live streaming or video conference, attendance will be checked during the class hour. So either magbabanggit ako ng mga pangalan and then let's just say present or what. Depende na lang yan. Pwede rin mag-comment kung wala tayong microphone or medyo may problem sa ating mga devices. Okay, as long as sa time na nag-check ako ng attendance, nandun po yon yung estudyante, then check po yung attendance. Pero kung ang klase po natin is on asynchronous na type ng class, then the compliance of the activity will serve as your attendance. So kapag asynchronous kasi, yes, hindi sabay-sabay. So as long as na-deliver yung kailangan na requirement, let's say, manunood siya, okay, or meron kayong mga gagawin na activity, then kapag nagawa niyo yung output ng klase na yon or nung time na yon, then that will serve as your attendance. Okay. So, before tayo mag-start ng ating mga lessons, okay, let's have an agreement na kung saan ito ay gagamitin natin all throughout the class, okay, or all throughout the semester. So, as your professor, my responsibility is to teach you, guide you, and give results of your performance. Okay? Hindi po ako yung gumagawa ng grade, kundi kayo po yun. Okay? It's your responsibility to study and give the best that you can. So, ibig sabihin, lahat po ng numbers na ilalagay sa ating class record ay galing sa inyo, hindi po galing sa akin. So, hindi po magic yung grades. Okay? So, every number that is encoded doon sa ating class record are just a reflection of your effort through this, all throughout this subject. Ayan. So, ang akin lang po, ang papel ko dito is to give you lessons, okay? To give you the knowledge that you need in order to pass this subject and to be a better person in the near future na pwede nyong gamitin yung mga matututunan nyo dito. So, I hope na itong klase natin will be a fruitful one and everything na or after the subject, you'll have the chance to use any of the topic na mababanggit natin sa inyong daily life. Okay? So again, happy learning and enjoy the journey sa ating klase. Okay. I'm Sunny Luigi Prado and I welcome you to this subject. Thank you.